Hello, thank you for joining me for today's video. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia. This video is part of the September video hop. If you go down to the description, you'll find the link to the next video in the hop and also a link to my blog where you can find the measurements for the project. This is the card that we're going to be making today. It opens up like that, a bit of fun, and all the products that I'm using here are from the new September to December 23 mini catalogue. Let's have a look at what I'm using and then we'll get onto the card. Stamp set is the Gift of Giving stamp set. It only has 3 big images and it's got a few stars and holly, but I love this stamp set. It is just so cute. The next thing is one of my favorite dies in that catalogue. It's the Deckled Circles dies. You've got 14 circles, so heaps of different sizes in here, and they're cutting out these sort of squiggly edged circles. The DSP is the Shining Bright DSP. You've got your 6 different sheets, 3 in Light of Navy and 3 in Very Vanilla, all with the gold accents. And the ribbon that I'm using is the navy golden glittered ribbon. So you can probably see it better if I put it against the Very Vanilla card here. It's a really pretty ribbon. I'm really enjoying working with this. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to do my stamping and colouring first, and then we'll get on to assembling. First, let's stamp the little stars for my insert. I'm just going to pull in the scrap with my Night of Navy ink. I'm just stamping all the way up the side here. Didn't really need that scratch paper, but better safe than sorry. Okay, now we're going to stamp our center. I'm stamping this onto a scrap of basic white. Now, you may be wondering, why am I using basic white when everything else is very vanilla? And the reason for that is because I wanted the fur on his jacket and his pants to be white. If you're not fussed and you've got Very Vanilla on hand, you can use the Very Vanilla. But like I say, that's the reason why I'm using white instead of the Very Vanilla. Now he needs to be coloured in. I've got my different blends here. It's your choice. Go wild. You can use whatever colour blends you want. Now that our Santa's all coloured in, we need to fussy cut around him. Now we want to cut the presents off of his body. This is always a bit terrible. I feel like a magician cutting a person in half, but at least it's just the body. I'm not cutting off his head. And we're going to put our Santa aside for the moment until we've assembled the card. I'm going to score my card base at 10.5 centimeters. Just making sure. Yep. If you're working in inches, that's going to be your 4.25 inches. And I've got this little piece. Now just be careful because the one side is slightly longer than the other. So on the shorter side, I'm going to score at 1 centimeter. If you're working in inches, that's going to be 3/8 of an inch. That's all our scoring done. We can just fold along those score lines. Now, I'm going to stick that end onto my card here. So we're going to line it up so that the edge is right along that score line. And we want it roughly in the middle. You can use tear and tape here, but I prefer the liquid glue just because it gives me that little bit of extra time that I can make sure I've got it lined up exactly. I'll just give that a second for the glue to set. While I'm waiting for that to set, I've got my piece of Very Vanilla that's going to go on top of that, and my Designer Series paper that's layering over that. Let's just stick that. Insert is going inside the card, and we're sticking it over the flap of this little card that's going on top here, so that's hiding our flap over there. I've got my piece of DSP for the front here, but before I stick that down, I'm going to put my ribbon around it. Now, be mindful when you're placing your ribbon that we want the ribbon to go towards the bottom of this piece of DSP so that it's going to sit underneath that little card. So we don't want it that it's higher up, because then it's going to be hidden. So towards the bottom of your piece of designer series paper, just going to put a glue dot on each end of the ribbon. One more glue dot underneath here just to hold it down where it's popping up. There we go. And DSP onto the front of our card. Now I've got my deckled circle, and that was cut using, pretty sure it was the circle over here. Let's see. Nope, it was the one just smaller, so that circle over there. So if you're looking for which one it is, counting from the smallest, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th one. Okay, so it's your 7th from the smallest circle. We're going to stick our Santa's feet onto the bottom of the circle. Now you can stick your circle on and then put your Santa. I like sticking it before I put my circle, because the one thing that I love about circles is that if something's crooked, you just turn the circle and everything then gets straight. And we're going to put some dimensionals behind the presents. It looks like I have mini dimensionals here, so I'll just use those, but it's not really necessary. You can be using the big dimensionals. These ones will work fine. It gives that little bit of dimension so that it looks like he's actually holding the presents in front of him. And our circle onto the front of our card. We need a bow along the edge of the ribbon. Just make sure that you're getting it, that it's not catching your little card here when you're opening it. And of course, some final decorations. I'm using the blooming pearls. We're sort of pulling from all over. I may actually use these. Not sure what colour they are. They may be pretty peacock ones, but they kind of a green with a bit of mother of pearl or luster to them. Iridescent, I think is the word I'm looking for. There we go. And there's our cards. Obviously the colours are completely different. I've used different DSP from that same pack, and when you're doing your colouring, you can just go wild and choose whatever colours you like. I quite enjoy the fun fold of the card, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Hop along and see what the next video is and what they've created for us. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I will be back again next month for our next video hop. Until then, bye.